Speaking of trades, off the fact that the NFL won't act up and act right. Speaking of trades, Lowry Marketing to the Warriors seems very, very intimate at this point. I think, me personally, that Lowry Marketing is a great addition to the Golden State Warriors. You talk about a guy that on the daily puts up 25 and probably 10 or 12 rebounds, right? I mean, he's an all-star. These 2 years with Utah revived that organization, has been kind of the lone star of the organization. They drafted Keontae George. They drafted Bryson Sensabaugh, Taylor Hendricks last year. This year, they drafted a steal in Cody Williams and Isaiah Collier and Kyle Flipkowski. So, in my opinion, this Jazz team is set up great for the future. You're looking at a team and my starting lineup, right? If I were to put a starting lineup out there, Keontae George, Isaiah Collier, Cody Williams, Taylor Hendricks, and Walker Kessler. But here's the kicker. Walker Kessler would not be in that starting lineup because he would be in this trade with Lowry Marketing. Therefore, let's get into the package. So Golden State would land Lowry Marketing and Walker Kessler. Now, if you're getting both of them, right? Not only 2 7-footers. No. One of them are all-star talented two-way player. And then another one, a defensive anchor that can shoot the three a little bit. And but when he shoots them, he makes them. Right? Can step out with a little midi floater. Walker Kessler is one of them guys. He's one of the best centers in the NBA to me. Right? Underrated center. If you can get a 22-year-old Walker Kessler and then Larry Markkanen, who is just entering his prime at 26, 27, you're giving up Kuminga. I'm sorry. Either Kuminga or Podz is in Utah. It has to happen. I don't care what Draymond says on podcasts. I don't care what Stephen Curry says. You want to make Stephen Curry win championships? Yes, you have to sacrifice Clay, whatever, right? Stephen Curry, you want to win, buddy? You're going to tell the front office to go ahead and pull the trigger. Who cares what you give up? But you want to win, though, right? You don't want to be a bottom feeder because, yes, they're talented young players, and yes, Kuminga could be an all-star this year, but it's a bottom feeder. It's a bottom feeder, right? Kuminga needs to go somewhere where he'll be the star. Utah, he will be the star. Trust me on that. He will be the player they build around. Him, Keontae George, Taylor Hendricks. That would be a big three, in my opinion. Then you got Cody Williams. You got Bryson Sensabaugh. Yes, Jordan Clark's still in the roster, but he needs to go. Then you have Colin Saxon. You probably move him, right? So, and then John Collins as well. So, Utah would be going into a rebuild. Now, I've seen 5-player trades. I've seen 10-player trades. I've seen 3-team trades, and I've seen 4 and 5-team trades. Now, a 14 trade is probably more logical for Utah to pull off so you can get off of Saxon's contract and Collins' contract, probably ship them to the Clippers, and then you can get probably a Terrence Mann back, and then probably 2 firsts just to clear some cap. The Clippers kind of get some more depth, get a little bit younger there with John Collins. So a lot of scenarios, but at this point, I feel like the Warriors are going to decide, and it's going to come down to Podz or Kuminga. And I feel like they're going to keep Podz because, one, your owner doesn't just come out and say, oh, Podz, he's going to be an all-star next year, or he's going to be starting next year. They won't just come out and say that and trade the guy. But, I mean, we've seen it before. We've seen it before where a front office has said a player's untouchable, and then they get a monstrosity of a contract for a player. Tarek Skubal, they haven't said anything about him. Now, I know it's MLB, but Tarek Skubal, they have not ruled out the possibility of him being traded. They ruled out the possibility of Jared Allen and Karis LeVert and all those guys being traded back in 2021 for Brooklyn, right? And now look at it. So they were part of that James Harden trade, right? So, like I'm saying, this is a business, okay? And by this being a business, sacrifices have to be made if you want to win. It looks like the Orioles and the Warriors don't realize that. They don't realize what sacrifice means, right? Podz has only been there for 1 year. Kuminga's been there for 3. He's more of the proven guy, right? And Utah probably want Kuminga because he could play that small 4 position. If you want to put Cody Williams at the 2, run Keontae at the 1, I would like that with with George at the 1, Williams at the 2, Kuminga at the 3, Taylor Hendricks at the 4, or you can switch Hendricks and Kuminga. You can switch them out the forward pair, and then you can figure out your center position. In this case, it would be Kevon Looney. I don't like them getting Moses Moody back because is he going to start? I mean, he probably would start the 2 position, but I would try to find a third team for Moses Moody. I think he would help out a very, very, very good contending team like a Dallas, but they don't have the Capitals space. Dare I say Sacramento? I mean, keep him in California. I like the defense on him, and you're already getting offensive scoring and a little bit of defense from DeMar DeRozan. Might as well add to it, right? Trying to think of some Eastern Conference teams. Even the Pacers could use him, but you got Nembhard and you got Mathurin. I mean, at this point, I mean, Mathurin's trade values is probably the best it's going to get, right? I'm trying to think of some more teams that could use a Moses Moody, like a OKC, but they already got Alex Caruso. So it's like, hey, you're looking at a trade of Larry Markkanen and Walker Kessler to Golden State. Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, Kevon Looney's going back, but the picks is now what we're going to start seeing. 2025 first round pick unprotected. 2027 first round pick unprotected. The 2030 first round pick, if the pick is not 1 through 20, then the 2031 first round pick with top 10 protections will convey. So this is a lot that could happen in a couple of days. Maybe it can happen at any moment. It can happen right now. It can happen a couple of hours from now. Like, it can happen in 10 minutes from now. But I doubt it. I think they're going to drag this out all the way to the last day before he's eligible to sign an extension. Then they're going to decide whether he's going to do that, right? So we've seen Utah do that before, right? Where guys are eligible for extensions with Donovan Mitchell and the whole Knicks Donovan Mitchell talk. RJ Barrett, they kind of stretched it out with him, the Knicks, and kind of see, okay, do we want to trade him to Utah? Do we want to sign him to extension? So teams are known for doing that, right? But in terms of what a potential package could look like, this is what the package could look like, right? Just a matter of who pulls the trigger. I think Golden State eventually has to do something. If they do not make a single trade, Curry's leaving. I don't care what you're talking about. Oh, I'm a warrior for life. Yes, he's gonna be a warrior for life. All right, he gonna be a warrior for life, but it's just gonna be a warrior in the bottom feeder, a great in the bottom feeder. LeBron is almost in that mid-tier bottom feeders, right? Like Curry and LeBron are almost in the mid to bottom feeder tier in the West. It's insane to see, and it's insane to hear, right? Considering what Curry and LeBron battles and so many finals appearances and so many moments between the two Hall of Fame caliber players, and to see them not succeed, to see Curry not succeed, it's going to be crazy, right? You need to try to do something, right? I don't even care if he doesn't win the championship. Do something. We want to see a major trade. Treat the fans to something, right? Come on, sports. Come on. Do something. I want to see a signing trade. Something.